Look at that place that way. The futurist. The futurist. The futurist.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week. We have another week of exciting content for all of you. This week, we're going to talk about digital asset exchanges. Okay. But before that, okay, how is everyone doing? And I was just having this thought, like, are you starting to miss physical meetups yet right now? Because I know we were doing all these events and stuff like that. So just random thought just came to my mind. If you are ready to, if you're ready to actually, start going out, okay, for physical meetups, maybe let us know in the comment sections. Okay, what do you think? Shall we, maybe start, okay, organizing something soon, or maybe we should, wait until 2021. Let me know your thoughts, okay, and then so that we can know how you actually feel right now. Right now, we are broadcasting live from the Asia Blockchain Center. Right in the skirts, okay, of KL City, where it is a very ambitious project, okay, to build a blockchain hub, okay, for innovators, entrepreneurs, and developers in the blockchain space for the entire of Asia. 12 floors, 100,000 square feet in total. Is crazy big, and they have provided, this really nice environment for us, okay, to basically create this content for you. So also, okay, a shout out to all our partners, okay, who are helping us to spread the word of this event. This week, we have an entire week, okay, of new content for you. The topic, okay, will be about digital asset exchanges. We get a lot of questions like, where do we start? Where do we buy, Bitcoin or Ether? So this is an opportunity for us to bring, okay, the people behind these digital asset exchanges, so that you get to know who they are and what's actually happening, okay, behind the scenes. So across all of Asia. So, and then we're going to talk, okay, about the topic of digital asset issue. Are we going to see more different kinds of digital assets? Okay, and we're also going to talk about DAXs, decentralized exchanges, and then last but not least, we're also going to talk to you about some lessons that we can learn from the past, basically scams, and so that more of people, okay, who are new to the space particularly, okay, will be well informed and they know better, okay, on how to navigate this very new, very rapidly evolving, very often scary place of crypto. Now, a quick disclaimer, okay, none of the content, okay, that is shared throughout this week should be taken as financial or investment advice. You might hear things like, if it was me, I would do this, but this is just only the personal opinions, okay, of the various people. You must take your own personal responsibility. Use this as a free resource, okay, to aid in your education, okay, and learning journey to understand this space better. Our main goal of why we do this, okay, is to help more people to understand cryptocurrencies and digital assets, because very often it can be a very technical, difficult, subject matter to learn. So we want to provide, okay, a safe place first and foremost, neutral as possible, and an easy environment for you to learn about this subject matter called crypto, and to help you to differentiate between what is real, what is fake, what is legit, what is full of non-legit, okay, in the space, so that you can actually see the value and capture real opportunities, which that is the crypto industry slash blockchain slash DeFi industry, particularly at this very challenging time when a lot of people are, going through unprecedented change. Okay, their businesses are disrupted. Okay, their jobs are at risk. One industry that is actually booming and hungry for talented people is the crypto slash blockchain slash DeFi industry. So by having all this kind of education material out there for you to learn from, what will happen is that you would then become more better, more mature in the subject matter, and become a very attractive person that people in the industry would want to meet you and work with you and give you jobs. So that's the entire reason of why we conduct these events. So today we're going to talk about, this entire week is all about digital asset exchanges. What is a DAX, digital asset exchange? Now, digital asset exchange is basically, simply put, a place where you can buy and sell digital assets. For example, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ether or Ripple, Litecoin, and lately all these DeFi tokens as well. So now there's a reason, why they are not just directly called cryptocurrency exchanges. The reason for that is because digital assets can actually be so much more, which is what we're going to cover on the third day. So I'm looking forward to that, to give you a map of what are the different kinds of tokens actually emerging, because not all tokens are equal. They are not the same. All right, so look out for Wednesday. A digital asset exchange is basically a place where you can buy and sell digital assets. This is a great place, a great resource right now for you to, if you have friends who are completely new and they want to know who is which, right? Please refer them, to this video, share this video to them, so that they can get, a very clear understanding, of what is actually out there. Like, for example, in a digital asset exchange, in Malaysia, as for example, is like Luno. So Luno has is one of the approved regulated exchanges in Malaysia. It is the largest one to date. It is the first one to get approved by the government, and they have both. What's really cool about Luno is that they both have a very easy interface, easy version, for people to buy cryptocurrencies, as well as one, tailored for traders. Then, if you're from Indonesia, so if you're from Thailand, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in Thailand is called Bitkub. And what I really like about what they have is, not only do they have a very, very good interface, for people to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, they offer more than 30 trading pairs, of different kinds of cryptocurrencies in their country. It's really, really cool. If you're from Indonesia, you have Rekeningku, which is the largest one, in the country today in terms of liquidity, in terms of users, and also very impressive. They have, all my favorite tokens. Again, not financial or investment advice, but I can see some of my favorite tokens being offered with the Indonesian pair there. So today we have with us 2 out of 3 of the very special guests. We have Aaron Tang, from Luno, Malaysia. We have Top Jirayut from Bitkub, and we were supposed to have Pak Sumardi Fung, from Rekeningku. Unfortunately, he just texted me about an hour ago that he's really, really not feeling well. He really wanted to attend, but he could not make it. We wish him, get well soon. All right, and don't worry about it. We'll have you in the next round. So with that, I'd like to thank Aaron and Top, for being here today with us.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, Jason. Thanks for the opportunity.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Top. Okay, so the first question, okay, that I have for you is, how have you guys been? Okay, 2020, right, has been a very, very interesting year. How has 2020 um, turned out, okay, for Luno and for Bitkub? Maybe Aaron, you can go first.
Thanks, Jason. And thanks, Top, for letting me go first. So, Luno, it's been an interesting year for us. I would call it a build or build year because we've been doing a lot of things, I guess, in the background. So it hasn't been like an explosive, it hasn't been like the years of 2017 or like early 2018 yet for us. Hopefully we get there one day. But it's been a year of us trying to build the infrastructure, trying to scale the team, trying to build all those things that are not very sexy, but I think are going to be so essential for the long-term industry. So I think 2020 has been a year of transition and building for us.
Top, how about yourself?
I'd say it has been a crazy few years for Bitkub. Last year we grew 400% in terms of transaction revenue profits. This year from January till last year we grew 600%. So it's been crazy 7-8 months. We are adding a lot of headcounts. Prior to COVID, we had a 80 people team, 80 people employees. Right now we're 152. By the end of this year, we'll hit 200 people team, and we're moving the office again. Right? We haven't been to this office for less than a year, and we're moving to a bigger one again.
Wow.
So it's been crazy growth. I think we will exceed more than 600% growth based on the current performance. So right now we are one of the top 500 websites, the most top 500 most visited websites in the country already. It's been only 2 years for us, and excluding mobile apps, right? We saw traffic from mobile apps already tripled, twice, at least twice, the traffic on the website, and excluding the traffic on mobile, we are already on the top 500 most visited websites in Thailand. So very similar to Aaron, crazy year. We've been invested a lot, expanding headcounts, scaling up all the infrastructures to prepare to scale, for next year. Invested a lot in every aspect, like security, and maintaining the business part, expanding the business part, and also compliance and stay in business part as well. So everyone is time is the most expensive thing for us right now. But things are going well, really well.
Wow.
The largest
I am flawed. Okay. It looks like the coronavirus. Okay, definitely did not affect. Okay. The sentiment. Can you just very quickly describe? Okay. In your own view, right? Okay. What is the crypto industry like in Thailand right now? Okay. As compared to say maybe 2 years ago, since you said 2 years.
Yeah. Personally, I've been in this space for 7 years now. This is my second crypto company. The first one was Coins.co.th, also the largest leading Bitcoin wallets. But prior to 2-3 years ago, this industry wasn't legalized in Thailand. It was in a gray area. I'm sure it was the same status everywhere around the world.
That's right.
It took us like a long time to work closely with the Thai SEC, with the regulators. Personally, I've been spoken to more than 1,000 stages in the last 4 or 5 years to educate the public on what blockchain technology is.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. So now it's like my second job now is to just go on stage and just educate the public about the blockchain technology. But it paid out because Thailand is one of the very first country to legalize, the cryptocurrency exchange in the world, in the entire world actually, and we are one of the very first company with this license. Luckily, we're in the era where the regulators are starting to listen more to the private sectors, and with this wave of Libra digital yuan coming in, they're even more open right now to, for innovation.
Very, very interesting. Aaron, what do you think? Okay, how would you describe the crypto scene in Malaysia in your own words right now, as compared to say a year ago or 2 years ago?
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Jason. I mean, you probably know the crypto scene much better than me because you are literally speaking to people every day, and I really admire the work that Bitcoin Malaysia does, and as well as your group. So, but in my perspective, I think how we are perhaps very similar to the top and in Thailand is that we only sort of legalized, or we only approved digital asset exchanges in Malaysia in October 2019. So that's not even 1 year ago. The regulations were out maybe 2.5 years ago, but as Top knows very well, there's a long process of going to meet the regulators, putting in the paperwork, meeting after meeting, trying to sort out all the elements, right? So I would say that if you look back at 2017, again, I think things were really insane, right? Back in the ICO days, back in when Ethereum first, everyone was raising money on ICOs. I think back in those days, it was really, really crazy. If I'm not mistaken, there were days where the Bitcoin trading volume was thousands of Bitcoin every day, if I'm not mistaken, right? Back in those days. Now, I think what happened with regulations coming out, it kind of, I don't know, for better or for worse, it kind of cooled the market a bit. So we've actually seen over the past 2 years that trading hasn't gone back to those kind of levels in our personal experience. But what we're seeing is people are starting to warm up to regulations. So if you ask people maybe 1.5 years ago, people will be like, oh, Malaysia is going to tax the hell out of crypto. They're going to take all our personal information. This is very dangerous. No one wants regulated exchanges. So, but I think over time, people have realized that regulation is a good thing because regulation will bring in the mass retail interest. Only, I guess, maybe 1 to 5% of the population is going to be sophisticated or risk-taking enough to use things like overseas platforms or peer-to-peer platforms or even DEXs, right? And I think that where regulated exchanges play a big role is getting the slightly more risk-averse guy into as sort of the first step in the crypto. So what we're seeing is, although it's not crazy like back in those days, we're starting to see the market kind of accept it and grow at a nice, mature pace.
I think you brought up two very important pieces. The first one being is that because Malaysian as well, okay, you're right, okay. We only just got Luno just only got their license in November last year, barely even a year. So it takes time, okay, for us to build the confidence, okay, to educate, okay, the public, etc. Basically have to go through what Top went through, okay, in the last 2 years. The second thing that you brought up, okay, which is very important, I think, is regulated exchanges play a very important role, okay, for mainstream adoption, okay, because before, okay, there was regulation, right? There were a lot of incidences, okay, where people went to this company or that company, and then they deposited their money there, and then they lost their money. The company basically does not exist the next day. You get what I mean? So regulated exchanges provide, okay, a level of consumer protection, because both of you have to comply to very strict consumer protection laws. Can you elaborate, okay, how do you, what kind of protection, okay, do customers have when when they use Luno or Bitkub?
Top, you want to go first?
Sure. A lot, actually, a lot of protection. And, after the regulation comes in, compliance costs shoot up, skyrocketed. To be honest, just this year alone, I spent $4 million just on the security, on even the office space. I can't even enter some of the office space in my own office because we have this Chinese wall in place, where only a certain permission-based group of people are allowed to access this operations room. We invested in getting everyone's a proper laptops with full monitoring on like emails, files, screens. We invested in all the security and also the insurance. In Thailand, we went to the point that we have this NCR, net capital ratio requirements, as an additional insurance. It's pretty much the company's profit that we cannot touch, we cannot enjoy, right? As the more, the higher the amounts that the customers deposits the funds within our exchange, the higher the NCR ratio. So we need to top up, the percentage to keep the same pro rata percentage. So as we grow, the higher the NCR ratio would need to keep up. And this is not customers' money. It's our company's profit that we cannot enjoy. We need to top up in tandem together with our customers' deposits. And also, the Thai SEC said that we cannot do anything with those customers' deposits as well. We must keep them in a savings account, the bank. Let's separate into two sides, right? Fiat deposits and crypto deposits, right? On the fiat deposit side, the SEC said we cannot reinvest the funds into any other activities. We must just keep those deposits in a saving account. We can enjoy the interest, but we cannot reuse the funds on any other investment opportunity. Right? So whenever the customers press withdrawal, the money would hit the banks right away. Right. Actually, right now within 3 seconds, the instantaneous. Hello? So it's almost instantaneous, right? On the fiat side, we cannot touch the money. On the crypto side, there's an additional 100 million US dollars insurance funds with a third-party custodian. So there are a lot of additional cost and compliance. We are sending reports every month to the Thai SEC, to the different regulators. So the number of reports is also going up in tandem.
Wow. So I got 2 takeaways from that. So the first one being is that we already know that exchanges are a huge honeypot for basically attacks, right? Okay. But however, one thing that you need to also go through is you need to incur a lot of high compliance costs as well, which is different from what a lot of people will have to go through if they're unregulated. Is it the same? Okay, are there any differences? Okay, with what you go through, Aaron?
Nope. I would say I go through the exact same experience as Top, and I'm laughing because I think like over the past couple of weeks, couple of months, the amount of time I spent basically speaking to the SC on customer protection, what we do to protect customer funds is like super, super intense, right? It's like I'm spending a huge percentage of my time working together with the SC to make sure that the customer funds are secure. So some of the things that I just want to mention here, similar to Top, we have two different things, right? There's the ringgit, Malaysian ringgit fiat, and then there's the crypto assets. Now in Malaysia, the fiat is stored not even in our own bank account name. So we have to use a trustee. So whenever you make a ringgit deposit into the account, you're not actually paying it to an account, you're paying it to a third-party trustee. which is also licensed by the SC. So I guess you can call that we don't have hands in the cookie jar, meaning that even if I wanted to go and take out the money myself, I can't. Like literally, that money needs to be approved by a third-party trustee before it can be paid out. So that's
Right.
that's the ringgit part of things. And if we talk about the digital assets, we use multi-layer security. So there's the hot wallet, which is connected online, but that hot wallet also uses the services of a third-party custodian, which is Bitkub. So it's a multi-signature kind of arrangement. They have to sign, we have to sign before anyone can make the transaction. Apart from the hot wallet, we keep most of the funds offline, which is either in cold storage or another thing that we call deep freeze. So we like to consider it like bank grade kind of security because we are literally distributing private keys in separate parts. And like if you go to the highest level of security, it's like even in different parts of around the world, which nobody knows. So I think that's the level of security that we go for. And I think, as you mentioned correctly, exchanges are huge areas of targets. We know that we incur a lot of costs, but it is important to keep the funds that level of safe.
Okay, so something very interesting that you mentioned, okay, which is that on the fiat side, okay, you need to make sure, okay, that definitely, okay, if anybody deposited any ringgit or Thai baht, okay, the company needs to be able to honor, okay, the withdrawal, right? That's one part. But on the digital asset side, okay, those deposits, I want to segue this, okay, into your thoughts on the emerging trend of DeFi, right? Okay, what are your thoughts, okay, about DeFi and maybe offering additional, benefits or features, okay, to your clients, okay, to basically earn, I don't know, a savings, additional savings, or if there's any idle cryptocurrencies, okay, in the exchange. Because the thing is, you have the reputation. You get what I mean? That is your advantage. Luno has the reputation. Bitkub has the reputation. What are your thoughts on DeFi? Aaron first.
Thanks, Jason. I really like the concept of DeFi. I think that it's very early in the game. Indeed, almost every week we hear of like not so savory things happening with DeFi right now,
Yes.
right? And I think it's normal for the start of any industry. I will share that we do really, really want to get involved in the space, but it is a matter of working with perhaps the right partner and choosing the right time. So a simple example of what we're doing, and this is the global Luno exchange, right? We are partnering with Genesis. Genesis is an institutional prime broker. So very soon in the Luno wallet, you will be able to basically transfer your Bitcoin into a separate wallet, and that gets loaned out to Genesis, and that will be earning interest. Now, the one caveat I'll say is that in Malaysia, this is still subject to the SC's approval. In other markets, it's a bit easier, right? Because the SC doesn't watch it so closely. In Malaysia, we're still talking to the SC about it. So it might take some time, and this is something I'm really trying to push. But yeah, we are definitely interested to take steps into this space, and we think it is the future, right? That the emerging digital asset world is going to learn more and more from the traditional world of finance, and just come up with more clever ways of doing things.
Okay, before I pass, okay, it back to Top, okay, to get his views, okay, about DeFi, I just want to maybe, I think that this is a question that's coming in from the community, right? Can you give us a little clarity as to why is it, okay, that in Malaysia, we are not able to offer more trading pairs, okay, as compared to what maybe Bitkub is actually being able to offer. What is the difference that's going on here? Is there a confidence thing? What's going on?
Yeah. So thanks, Jason. That's a question that's close to my heart, right? Because I get jealous, right, seeing people do a lot more trading, a lot more volume. I would say that at the end of long story short, there is a committee within Malaysia which comprises of the SC and Bank Negara. that reviews actually if we want to list a coin. Okay, if we want to offer a new trading pair, it literally needs to go through to that committee for approval. Now you can imagine, like, let's say Bitcoin and Ethereum were pretty okay because I think they are widely decentralized today. But let's say I were to come with something like, say, I want to do USDT BNB pairing, right? Now I think that would perhaps raise some alarm because number one, stable coin. And I think the regulation in Malaysia, although it defines crypto as a security, stable coins, as I understand the payment services thing that they are in parliament right now, that falls under Bank Negara. And I also understand that regulators are starting to get a little bit concerned about stable coins. So I think that's the long story short is that regulators are still quite, I guess you can call it quite averse to like opening the floodgates to say 30 to 40 pairs. And what they're doing is, let's allow a couple, let's see how the market grows, let's see if we can contain the risk. And yeah, we'll hopefully be able to improve from there. But I feel the pain of the community, right? And I feel the pain myself because people ask me, why is your exchange like not doing like a lot more pairs, a lot more volume? And sometimes we just have to explain that it's a step-by-step process. We need to get trust from everyone, from the authorities, and hopefully we'll be able to build more and more.
Right. Okay. Top, can you maybe share, okay, a little bit about, what the environment is like in Thailand? Is the process, okay, is that something that we can learn from Thailand?
To be honest, we all face very similar challenges. Personally, I want to press so many buttons right now. Right, all the products are done, but I cannot turn on the switch because of the regulation. I just need to turn on the switch.
Right.
But just cannot turn on. But it's not the coin listing switch that has is the issue here in Thailand. Right? We have our own coin listing criteria that has been verified, revised, verified with the SEC. So long as all the coins are satisfied all these criteria, we can list them on the exchange. But I mean, the main goal is you must understand that the main KPIs of the SEC is investors protection. So long as the investors are fully protected, they are fine. Right? That's the main KPI. So we need to make sure that no one is getting hurt, and we must do a proper due diligence on any of the products being listed. But we face other challenges, to be honest. I see other exchanges launch so many cool products. We also finished with our products, but I cannot press the button, the launch button yet. The regulation catching up. I need to educate. I guess another 1,000 stage may help.
I'd just like to thank both of you, okay, for being open about this and also, giving us some, measure of what's actually happening behind the scenes, okay. But the way I look at it, it's basically, it's just a matter of time, and also putting in the hard work, because for you, Top, okay, you and your team, okay, have already been doing this for 2 years, okay. Let's see what happens, okay, with on Malaysia side, okay, in the near to medium term. But what are your thoughts, okay, about DeFi? Can you share on that?
Sure. Thailand is one of the very first country again to give out a decentralized exchange license. One company already got its license, not us, but another company got this decentralized exchange in Thailand, a license already, a separate license. But personally, I think the timing is very important when you launch a product. The best way to explain this is to give you an analogy. Say if there are two islands, right? So the physical world and a digital world. Right now, most of the activities and time, customers' time and activities are in the physical world because everything is in physical, right? Value are kept in the physical manner, right? The first way is to migrate people is to build a bridge between the two islands, right? Digital island and physical island. What I see a centralized exchange role is a strong bridge. Right? The bridge must be strong on both ends, right? Otherwise it will collapse. So on the old world, we must make sure the footing is strong. Like AML, KYC, the old world is happy with our exchange. On the new world, we must make sure that the cryptocurrency is easily being adopted, easy to use, UI, UX, user experience is good. The bridge must be strong. And this bridge, a centralized exchange, allows people to convert between fiat and crypto to fiat, cross the bridge, left, back and forth. But once everyone is in the digital world, right, all the time activities are in the digital world, no one is using the physical format of value anymore. Then this is where the DeFi is going to come in, where people will be transact only within the island. Then the bridge would become obsolete, right? Because most of the time and activities would be spent on the digital world. But the timing is not right because more than 90% of the value are kept in the physical formats in fiat right now. So we are only in the first migration phase. We need a strong bridge first for the customers to migrate. But eventually, I'm not arguing that DeFi is not going to work. Eventually, right, DeFi will overtake, the centralized exchange if there's no need to convert crypto to fiat. Everything is in crypto already. Everything is in digital formats. What's the point of converting back to fiat, right? So that's when the DeFi is going to come in.
So this is an interesting topic, right? Okay, because there is legitimate, okay, how do I say it? There's already been people talking, okay, in the community that DeFi, okay, will, how do I say, eat up CeFi, etc. But the biggest thing really, as you quite correctly pointed out, is connecting the real world, okay, with the virtual world. And that, even if, let's say, these protocols, stand the test of time, okay, that, they provably, their smart contracts, okay, are proven, okay, to function, okay, as intended, without vulnerabilities, without bugs and etc. Okay, say right now, most DeFi projects right now are less than 2 years old. Okay, I would say even the like Compound, Aave, and etc. They're all like 2 years. Okay, but we have seen, okay, projects, okay, that only existed for like 48 hours and then they just disappear. So I think that it's going to really, how do I say it? What you say is correct. It's although that this is something that we want, okay, to see happen, it's not so easily, because it takes time to build this stuff. It takes time, okay, to build trust. It takes time, okay, to build this. But I'm really interested, okay, and looking forward to seeing real world assets being tokenized. In Malaysia, I think that we are still emerging because the regulations are still forming up right now. Am I correct, Aaron? Okay, that if someone wanted to issue, I don't know, a new token, okay, that there's regulations being formed up there. But for Thailand, okay, what are the are there real world assets already being tokenized in Thailand?
Yes. Just for the confidentiality reason, I cannot tell the name, but
Sure.
a big description would be okay.
Yeah.
We're on our way to tokenize real estates, STO, asset-backed token. The first asset would be real estate token, but we have other tokens on the pipeline as well. We have like diamonds, gold in the pipeline, and the regulations are coming out. You'll see the first real estate token very soon, legalized real estate token very soon in Thailand. I cannot tell you the name. The amount
Sure.
will be quite big.
I totally respect that, and I think that the community does not expect that as well. I think what the community really appreciates, okay, is understanding, okay, where we are right now, okay, how much of it, okay, is still, kind of like, in the conceptual stage, in the, pie in the sky stage, okay, and, what are the kind of like use cases, things like that. I am really looking forward to see, okay, real world assets getting tokenized, okay, over the next, okay, 12 months, okay, 6 months to 12 months. Now, I'd like to ask both of you a question, okay, because both of you are, okay, leaders, okay, in your own countries, right? I'd like to ask you, okay, in your opinion, what do you think, okay, does your industry need right now? What does the crypto industry need right now in the next 6 months to 12 months? What do you hope to see more of?
Who would you like to?
Sorry, maybe Aaron go first. What do you think the industry needs more right now, like immediate?
It's strange, right? Because we have regulations in place. I would really love to see the traditional financial institutions sort of take that first step forward. Now, I'm not sure if you know this, but despite the approvals, despite the regulations, despite Bank Negara's guidelines, most banks in Malaysia today will still not bank a crypto company, right? And this has gone to like board of directors level at several major banks. I'm not going to say which banks, but I can tell you that it has gone to board of directors level of several major banks. And up to this point, right, there's still so much sort of skepticism. You know, if you say blockchain, right, people are like, yeah, I'm gonna try blockchain, blockchain this, blockchain that. But the moment you mention like crypto, the moment you mention Bitcoin, then it somehow, I feel that we are like on the cusp of something big, but we don't really have that broad level industry support yet. And I think that that's really the next thing that we need to get to. Granted, the regulators, I think, have done their part already, short of actually going to like financial institutions and saying, yes, you must work with a crypto exchange, right? They obviously can't do that. So I think they've already taken their steps. But I would like to see the other industries in Malaysia, especially, take that step of bravery, take that leap of faith, and really explore what this kind of new digital assets can bring to them as well.
What about your environment, Tom? What does your crypto industry, in your opinion, need right now?
Sure. To speed up the regulations even more, right? Even though we are one of the very, very first country to legalize this space, but there are so many products that I cannot press the launch button. And I think regulators would need to talk to each other more. In Thailand, there are so many regulators, and they all look after their own space. For example, the Bank of Thailand looks after the currency side. The SEC looks after the assets side. The RD looks after the tax side. And each, they have different KPIs. Right? The Bank of Thailand KPIs is financial stability. The SEC's KPIs is investors protection. The RD's KPI is tax maximization for the country. And it's like we are playing different songs. We need a proper conductor, right? A middleman, a conductor, and say, guys, we need the country's KPI. I know you guys have your own KPI, but we must conduct a music here. Like, stop playing different song. So you must forego some parts so that everyone can work together, and listen to the public and can move at a much faster rate. Easily, if Libra were to launch today, everyone in Thailand, to be honest, would be arguing, right? Who is going to be looking after Libra? Is it the Bank of Thailand, a stable coin, or is it the SEC should be looking after this stable coin project, right? We're in the overlapping world now. One technology it's not like one particular thing anymore. It's time that regulators talk to each other, and we need a proper conductor. We need a country's KPI, not individual KPI, and they fight, with each other, contradicts with each other, and we're not moving anywhere. To be honest, what we need right now is a proper conductor who has been in this space and see the big picture, and can facilitate everyone to play the same song, the same music, right? To move Thailand forward. And also education. Like I've personally been talking to over 1,000 stages, like literally 1,000 stages in the last 4 years. But say with retail, commercial banks, it got up to like the mid-management level that blockchain is going to change the world, and what we are doing is very innovative, right? Allows Thai people to transfer money to the UK Thailand to the UK within 30 seconds with a RippleNet solution, for example. And all these innovation got stuck at the very, very top. Those guys with 40, 50 years old plus who doesn't. There's a generation gap here. The guys with the ones with the power, right, to change things. The education only go up to the middle management level, not really up to the decision maker for the private banking side. So if those guys really understand what we're doing, then the industry would grow like by an order of magnitude if commercial banks are coming into this space. Because now we have legality, but we also need like custodian solutions in order to attract institutional investors, right? Not just legality,
Right.
but a proper
Right.
like custodian solution. And banks have this.
It's very interesting because I've also been, actively trying to, do our own part, okay, in educating the space. We always talk about educating. But what I'm learning, I'm actually learning something new here from what you're sharing, Tom, okay, is that education, not in the sense, okay, of know what is Bitcoin, know how to keep your coins and know, what it actually isn't, what it is, all that. But what you're saying, okay, is education in the sense, okay, as in a business use case on the commercial level. That's what you're saying right now. There needs to be more people that actually would see the value of why should they build a business in crypto, why should they build why should they get involved, okay, in crypto today. So because of this, right, I'm thinking that can we talk a little bit about the future of work? Maybe we should go beyond already, about once you learn about crypto, your job is to go to Luno, Bitkub, get some bag of coins, okay, and then just hodl. We should move beyond that, but we should talk more about what are the kind of like roles, careers that people can build in the cryptocurrency space. What do you think, Aaron? Are beyond, okay, just being a trader and an investor, are there other opportunities, okay, that most people are not seeing that's actually available, okay, in crypto?
Yeah, I think there's huge opportunities in the space, particularly if you're a tech developer, right? I mean, if you talk about things like, say, my job, which is a little bit more to do with like regulations, marketing, operations, these are things that if you come from, say, a traditional industry, there are overlaps. So you see, it's not like especially a unique skill or anything. But if you talk about tech developers, right, the space of blockchain itself is very unique. It's new technology. I think the really interesting thing is that it's not like there are incumbents or people who are with 40 years experience in the blockchain tech developer space today. So it's like blockchain has been around maybe 5 years, 6 years. If you've got 5-6 years tech experience in blockchain, already super good, right? So I think it's a very interesting playing field. And you spoke about it, right? The world of remote working, distributed working. What's stopping someone today who is really motivated to, say, work from Malaysia? He's got really good tech skills that he learned and practice, and then he works for, say, an international company based in, I don't know, Japan or maybe the US or Germany. And all these things can happen because the demand is there. And tech is a democratizing force, right? It doesn't matter how you look like, it doesn't matter what language you speak, as long as you're able to contribute in terms of code, then there will be tons of opportunities. And I like to use this example because we are Malaysians, you and I, Jason. There are a couple of like super really good Malaysian companies. For example, Etherscan, the tech team is all based in Malaysia. Super proud of these guys, right? And I think they are like very humble. They don't go and shout about it that we are like a world-class company. And we're just like, based out of our sort of humble little Malaysia. So I would look at this as such a powerful example of you can be based in Malaysia, but you can provide your services to the whole world, and the whole world will recognize you without prejudice because your work is so good.
Okay, so takeaway is that learn how to code, okay, and a lot of opportunities, okay, to be a developer in this space. What about you, Tom? Is there something, okay, that most people are not seeing as to beyond just buying, investing, trading? Is there something that people are just not seeing here? As
Sure, I mean, there are huge opportunity, in the space. If you look at the internet 20 years ago, right, when the internet of information arrived, it pretty much democratized the way we share information, right? TCP/IP. Imagine the world before the internet. Do you remember when you want to distribute information? There must be this one tycoon, billionaire, who creates a newspaper business in the country and distribute newspapers around. You must have at least billions of dollars to create this company to distribute information, and the net result is only 70 million people within the country can read the information, right, from via newspapers. The world after the internet, right? A 13-year-old boy, right, with $0, dollar, right, in his pocket, like he can create a quick blog post, and everyone around the world can read this, right? Democratize information. He doesn't need to have a billion, baht, dollars in his bank account. Do not need to own a newspaper business. Just create a blog post. But the net result, it's not just 70 million people within the country. Everyone around the world can get access to this information. It democratized the way we share information. Right now, 20 years fast forward, look at the value sharing sector. Right? When you want to distribute value, you must be another tycoon, right? Another guy with billions of dollars in a bank and create a bank. You must create a bank to distribute value in Thailand. And the net result, only 70 million users. Right? You cannot remit money beyond just domestic payments. Right now, a 13-year-old boy can create a better transaction network on the blockchain to allow anyone to transact any kind of assets. Just like opening a blog post, and the net result, anyone can join and and use this network. Just right, get access to the blog post. And the net result is definitely not 70 million people. Anyone around the world. The cost is zero, right? Sometimes you don't need to be a coder. My vision would be that technology would be so easy to use that our job is to humanize the technology so that a 13-year-old can create a blog post without knowing how to code, right? So in the future, a 13-year-old can create a better transaction network on the blockchain to allow anyone to transact any kind of assets in the future. And anyone can use it, not just within the country, domestic payments. And that is just one solution. If you look at our region, in the ASEAN region, there are so many unbanked people, right? Unbanked population. And these guys are getting abused. Money transfer, like they're paying 10, 15% to Western Union, a company that has been around since World War II, right? Every Filipino is working like 13 months per year because that one extra month is the fee to Western Union. It's ridiculous. We're in a world where we can do international phone calls for free, and we're remitting value, and we're still paying like 13 months per year of work. It's crazy. With our solution, this is a quick win, right? We're working with the Bank of Thailand right now, the RippleNet. We allow customers to remit money from Thailand to the UK within 30 seconds, right? Not 2 days, 30 seconds. And the cost is down to 0.05%, 100 times cheaper, right? We did a test from America to Thailand. Only took us 1 minute to remit money back home. So if you ask customers that would they need to know that they're using cryptocurrency or blockchain technology, no, right? They just access the bank app and think of this app as a cheaper way to send money across without losing money on the way. So we will humanize the whole process. So you're right, Jason, like, would the bank CEOs need to know if it is crypto, if it is blockchain? It doesn't matter, right? You focus on the end result. If the customers are getting better, faster, cheaper products, then it's a big win for the customers and for the bank. I think it will unlock a lot of value. Let alone we haven't discussed like micropayments yet, right? Right now we cannot even do micropayments with the current financial system, right? With the bank, it will take us, I don't know. In Thailand, you can't even transfer like 5 baht or 10 baht across overseas. With Bitkub, you can, because cryptocurrency has this divisibility property, right? So the unbanks, the micropayments, there's so many opportunities. I could go on for another hour.
You're preaching to the choir here, brother. You're preaching to the choir here. My biggest takeaway, all right, from what you just shared, okay, is it's a very unique, okay, takeaway, different from what Aaron has shared, which is for those of you who are listening in right now and you're not from a technical background, one of the ways that you can contribute, okay, to this industry is to humanize the technology. Humanize the technology, and I think that upon when Top was doing that, okay, I think that that's exactly what I'm trying to do in the space as well, and that's actually how I make my living, and the reason why I'm openly sharing this as well is because there's so much opportunity out there that I don't have to be. Literally, I can't cover everything. Okay, there's so many things. Okay, right now I'm trying to humanize Yen. Okay, I'm trying to understand, unpack, okay, every single DeFi protocol, okay, out there to make it sensible, make sense of it. Okay, so that people can understand what the value proposition is. So if you're listening out there, okay, you don't have to be a developer. It is definitely one of the golden, how do I say, if you tap into it now, it could be one of your best decisions in your life. Okay, however, development work is maybe not for everybody, but another way is also to humanize. Okay, go into a community. Okay, go check out Luno's documentation. Okay, go check out Bitkub's documentation. Join their social media channels. Learn, okay, what is it that they need right now. Okay, and beyond just a community manager that basically helps them to increase like views and stuff like that. Humanize the story, spread the word. So I'd like to thank, okay, our two guests, okay, Aaron and Top, okay, for joining us, okay, for this 1 hour session to kick off this entire week's Asia DAX week. Before, okay, we go, just one last final message. Please support, okay, your local exchange, okay, from wherever you are, Luno, okay, Rekeningku, Bitkub. They play a crucial role in helping us to achieve mainstream adoption. Okay, so if you have friends, okay, who are new to cryptocurrencies, definitely, okay, support your local exchange, because they offer, consumer protection. They work really hard to comply with laws. So some love, okay, to your local exchange. And be back, okay, tomorrow, same time, okay, 8 to 9 p.m. for our second panel with 4B, PDAX, and one more special guest. All right. And then just want to note, okay, for those who are marking your calendars, okay, for the entire week, Wednesday and Friday would be a different time slot, okay, because number one, Friday, normally people want to spend their Friday nights out, not listen to a webinar. And then this is a lesson that we learned in the past. And secondly, okay, on Wednesday, we're doing it at 4 to 5 p.m. because it is Malaysia Day here. It's a public holiday, and people will also want to go out and spend their times, okay, with their loved ones and family. So with that, okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Top. I hope that you have enjoyed yourself today. I hope that all of you, okay, listening in also have enjoyed and gained value. See you guys again tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
guys.
Jason. Thanks, Top.
Have a
Good
good
night.
week.
Bye, guys.
Take it to your room. Shoot it up to the moon. Make it too easy for other people to understand. What's that in your hand? Help me breathe. Maybe you won't look at that place that way. The futurist. The futurist. this.